Alright guys, and welcome back to Mr. Casual Scum, I guess, reads and tries to edit my Immortal. Now when we last left off, we had just finished Chapter 3, and we're just gonna press on and just once again see if we can't give this thing some help. So, why don't we go ahead and continue. Chapter 4. Author's note. I said stup flaming, okay. Ebony's name is Eneby. Nut Mary Sue, okay. Draco is so in love with her that he is acting different. They knew each other before, okay. Alright. Said is S-A-I-D. Stup, I'm guessing it's supposed to be stop. Flaming, once again, is fine. Ebony's name is Eneby. Well, is it Ebony or is it Eneby? Let's just assume that that's a typo and that was supposed to be Ebony. Nut Mary Sue. Let's just make that not so it just isn't it's something really dirty sounding. You know, Ebony Nut Mary Sue sounded. Oh, I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, it sounds bad. It sounds like Ebony did something to Mary Sue. Sue has an E on it. Draco is so, be proper here, you don't need the extra O, you don't need the actual capitalization either, that's not necessary. With, of course, with her, that he is acting different, they, for, is obviously they, new, once again, new. I've never seen this version of each other before in my life, but that's supposed to be each other, so. Wow, can't believe it got that much worse, but let's go ahead and proceed. Draco, I shouted. What the fuck do you think you were doing? Draco didn't answer, but he stopped flying the car and he walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously. You were curious that you walked out of it? Or you walked out of it because you were curious? Where you have curiously kind of doesn't make sense. I walked out of it too. Curiously? That makes it sound like you don't really understand why you got out of the car, when it's clear as day why you would get out of the car. He's the fucking one flying. You obviously don't know how to fly this car, and you're kind of confused and upset at him because he's not taking you back to Hogwarts. So, let's just say you walked out to follow him. What the fucking hell? I asked angrily, once again validating my previous point. Ebony, he asked. What? I snapped. Draco leaned in extra close, and I looked into his gothic red eyes. He was wearing color contacts. Okay. If he's wearing color contacts, then his eyes aren't red. You could say you looked into his eyes. He was wearing color contacts, which gave him these gothic, made his eyes look gothic red or anything like that. But you're not actually looking into his eyes. You're looking at his color contacts. So his eyes aren't red. By your own admission, only the contacts are. Which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness. And then suddenly I didn't feel mad anymore. And then, once again with the ellipses, suddenly, just as Draco kissed me passionately. Just as you what? Just as I was about to say something, just as I was about to take a piss, just as I was about to shit my pants, just as I was about to what? If you're not going to finish it, just have it say, suddenly Draco kissed me passionately. Done. Draco climbed on top of me, and we started to make out keenly against a tree. Again with the thesaurus, I think someone was going for passionately, aggressively, anything like that. Now, there's also another problem here. He's climbed on top of you, and you're against a tree. You're not on top of a tree. You're against it. If you're against it, that means you're butting up to it, which that would mean that the tree is upright. So how did he climb on top of you, which would require one of you to be laying down if the tree's upright? You can't have it both ways unless you specifically say that you were leaned up, he jumped on top of you and your head was rubbing against the tree. But he can't climb on top of you and be against a tree unless the tree fell over, which in that case you really need to specify that. He took of my top. Once again, we're talking about partaking of a top and partaking of clothes. You took off his top and he took off his top and you took off his clothes. And I even took off my bra. Then he put his thingy into my you-know-what, and we did it for the first time. You've had swearing, you've already got sexual intercourse going on, you have adult themes, you have blood, you have slicing wrists, you have magic, you have everything that pretty much would not be, apart from magic, in a little kid's story. So why are you using little kid baby talk here about he put his thingy? His what? His finger, his nose, his ear, his chin, his sock, his jockstrap, his strap-on? Oh, his penis. Yes, his penis, his cock, his Johnson, whatever. Into my you-know-what. Again, vagina, cunt, pussy, etc. And we did it for the first time. Oh, I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm. We started to kiss everywhere, and my pale body became all warm. And then... What the hell are you doing, you motherfuckers? It was... unnecessary ellipse... Dumbledore. We started to kiss everywhere. All over. He started to kiss me all over my body. I started to kiss him. Everywhere. You guys would be going crazy. What position are you in where you can actually kiss? I mean, you must have the ability to turn your head like a fucking owl. Because if he's on top of you... Or let's say, if I'm guessing going next to a tree, maybe he's got you up against it, because I said I think that's a mistake. Okay, so he's got you, you're there. How are you going to get your head all the way down to everywhere? I'm ripping on this for a reason. You're using the wrong word. Everywhere implies everywhere, just like everything implies everything. We started kissing each other. I started kissing his neck. You can't just say everywhere. You can't even say all over his body. That's too many areas. You haven't given enough context as to how you'd be able to do this. So, be more specific, please. Let's just say, since I'm guessing he's probably just pushed her up against a tree, maybe hiked her leg and going at it. He's probably hiked. He's probably lifted her leg, or he's maybe strong and lifted her up. She's probably kissing his neck, and he's probably kissing hers. Chapter 5. Author's note. Stop flaming. If you flam, it means you're a prep or a poser. Stop flaming is fine. Unnecessary capitalization. If you flam is flame. Men's, I'm guessing, is means. You're a prep. We can spell you are, or a poser. Once again, we are one letter away from actually having a word here. Come on. The only reason Dumbledore learned to spell the guy's name, swore, one letter off again, is cause... I would even accept C-U-Z in this case, but come on. He had a headache. These one letters are killing you. Okay, and on top of that, he was mad at them for having sex. Sex with 2 X's, that's how you know it was real serious. How about just 1 X for sex? How about he was mad at them? And, let's see. P.S. I'm not updating... Again with this nutting, I'm not updating until I get 5 good revows. What did I say in the last part about alienating your audience? You don't get to hold your audience hostage. Don't put that in there. Just, if they're going to give you the reviews, then you'll write your story. If you don't get the reviews, then don't continue, and then you can maybe send out a personal message or something on your blog. You don't put it in the story. Dumbledore made, and Draco and I follow him. Dumbledore made what? He made a sculpture? He made fucking shadow puppets, he made balloon animals, he made the tree do a jig, he made his penis do the tango. What? Again, if you're not going to finish it, please just continue with something else, or drop it altogether. So Dumbledore and Draco, Dumbledore made Draco and I follow him. He kept shouting at us angrily. "You ludicrous fools," he shouted. I started to cry tears of blood down my pallid face. Draco comforted me. When we went back to the castle Dumbledore... To the castle Dumbledore? How about to the castle? Dumbledore took us to Professor Snape and Professor McGonagall, who were both looking very angry. "They were having sexual intercourse in the Forbidden Forest," he yelled in a furious voice. "Why did you do such a thing, you mediocre dunces?" asked Professor McGonagall. "How dare you?" demanded Professor Snape. If Professor Snape demands something, then why is there a question mark there? How dare you, with a question mark, would be read like that, and he wouldn't be demanding anything. How about maybe, "How could you do this?" demanded Professor Snape. Something like that. And then Draco shrieked, "Because I love her!" Everyone was quiet. Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall still looked mad, but Professor Snape said, "Fine, very well, you may go up to your rooms." Draco and I went upstairs while the teachers glared at us. "Are you okay, Ebony?" Draco asked me gently. "Yeah, I guess," I lied. I went to the girls' dorm and brushed my teeth and my hair and changed into a low-cut black floor-length dress with red lace all around it and black high heels. "That's what you're wearing to bed? Good Lord, you must bake!" Alright, that's just an editorial comment, sorry, but my god, that is a lot of clothes. That's a lot of clothes to be going to bed in. Also, why is he asking, what are you lying about saying, "Are you okay"? Are you saying that, because Draco's, I'm guessing, since this is your first time, he's probably more so asking, "Are you okay" with the whole, penetration, sexual shit we just did. Not, "Are you okay with getting yelled at?" Because you seriously don't strike... This character does not strike me as the type of person who would get upset at authority figures telling them anything. So, he's probably asking in this context, "Are you okay with everything that happened?" And you say you lied. Well, if I remember correctly, you were orgasming within about 2 seconds of his dick going into your vagina. So, what are you lying about? Are you upset you got in trouble? What are you lying about? Were you lying that you were getting an orgasm, so you were lying to your viewers? It makes no sense. You need to not... You either need to not have her have the orgasm, or you need to have her feel pain in the beginning and then feel good, but then maybe she's just kind of not okay about it. Or are you kind of going with she's a little ashamed now that she did it? Because once again, this person doesn't strike me as the type of person that would feel a lot of shame. She seems pretty, as whatever she might be, she does seem pretty strong in her will as far as determination and just be comfortable in being herself and just living her life. So that 2 little words are really kind of messing with your character here. Draco was standing in front of the bathroom and he started to sing "I Just Want to Live" by Good Charlotte. I was so flattered, even though he wasn't supposed to be there. We hugged and kissed. After that, we said goodnight. He reluctantly went back into his room. Okay. It ended okay. Chapter 6. Author's note. Okay, that's not even a word. Shut up, Prebz. Once again, spelling it with an S. Okay. P.S. I wouldn't update till you give me good reviews. Again, let's not hold our audience hostage here. The next day I woke up in my coffin. I put on a black miniskirt that was all ripped around the end and a matching top with red skulls all over it and high-heeled boots that were black. I put on 2 pairs of skull earrings and 2 crosses in my ears. I spray painted my hair with purple. Alright. I've actually been around people who've dyed their hair. I've done it myself. Spray painting it, unless we're going to go with its magical spray paint, that just is not going to really work. So... maybe you dyed your hair temporarily. In the Great Hall, I ate some Count Chocula cereal with blood instead of milk and a glass of red blood. Why do you need the glass of red blood? Can't you just drink the blood in the cereal? And once again, why does it have to be Count Chocula? Can it be anything else? Nope, gotta be Count Chocula. Count Chocula with blood and a glass of blood. Just, again, you got blood in the bowl. You could fill the fucking bowl up with as much blood as you want. Why do you need the other glass? It's right there. Your character's striking me as the type of person who wastes shit. And that's just not cool. Bastard. Oh, sorry. Suddenly someone bumped into me and all the blood spilled over my top. Bastard, I shouted angrily. I regret saying it when I looked up because I was looking into the pale white face of a gothic boy with spiky black hair with red streaks in it. He was wearing so much eyeliner that I was going down his face. You were going down his face? You were going down his face with what? Your hand? A pencil? The Count Chocula blood bowl? How about it was going down his face, and he was wearing black lipstick. He didn't have glasses anymore, and now he was wearing red contact lenses just like Draco's, and there was no scar on his forehead anymore. Forehead has an E in it. He had a manly stubble on his chin. How about just saying he had a goatee or a beard? Manly stubble, it kind of doesn't work. Stubble's kind of the stuff that prepubescent boys get. If you're kind of going to say that he's more manly or maybe more matured in that department, just say that he had, manly facial hair, or he had, a goatee. He had a sexy English accent. He looked exactly like Joel Madden. He was so sexy and my body went all hot when I saw him, kind of like an erection. Only I'm a girl, so I didn't get one, you sicko. What I say about the author's notes, embedding one doesn't make it any less of an unnecessary author's note. Also, unnecessary in general. You said your body went all hot when you saw him. That's fine. You got hot and bothered. You don't need to say it's kind of like an erection, only you're a girl so you didn't get one. Just leave that out. I'm so sorry, he said in a shy voice. That's alright. What's your name? I questioned. You questioned? How about just you asked? My name's Harry Potter, although most people call me Vampire these days, he grumbled. He grumbled? Wait a minute. He went from shy to grumble, so what, is he shy or is he mad? Because if someone grumbles, it'd be like... And so he just went from being all kind of like, oh, hi, I'm sorry, to, most people call me Vampire. Kind of doesn't fit. How about, he whispered, or just anything but grumbled. Why? I exclaimed. Because I love the taste of human blood, he giggled. He went from shy to grumbly to... So he went from shy to angry to happy. This guy has got the worst case of mood swings or manic depression I've ever seen. That is a quick change. Well, I'm a vampire, I confessed. Really? He whimpered. Yeah, I roared. You roared? Again, he's just laughing, then he whimpered. Now you're roaring? You're not a dinosaur. You're not roaring it. If you said yeah that loud, the whole entire hall would hear you because it would reverberate. It would echo throughout the halls. And why is he whimpering? He's like so happy. He's so happy that he's found another vampire that he's crying. He's like kind of crying happy. Is that what's going on here? God, this is just some... This dialogue just needs to get ripped up, redone. Stop having Harry Potter have the mood swings and the manic depressive nature. Go ahead and make yourself be a little less dinosaur-like, excuse me. Just redo this whole thing. I don't even have a suggestion. Just redo it. We sat down to talk for a while, then Draco came up behind me and told me he had a surprise for me, so I went away with him. Chapter 7, Bring Me to Life. Author's note, well, okay, you guys, I'm only writing... Alright, well has another L, hun. Okay, you guys, I'm only writing this 'cause I got 5 God revals. Man. How about we change that to good, because otherwise that's sounding like, man, this story's great. If you have the Lord and Heavenly Father giving you the thumbs up 5 times, that's... doesn't get any better than that. How about we just call it 5 good reviews, though? And by the way, I won't write, put a W there, the next, put an E there, chapter, till I get G-E-T, and till has another L, 10 God Vons. So you want 10 God Vons. God's already given you 5 thumbs up. Why do you need his Vons? And you know how fucking precious that 10 is in heaven. Unless, of course, it's supposed to be 10 good votes. Yeah, I think that's what we were going for. So 10 good votes. Stow, stop, flaming, or ill, I'll report you, Y-O-U. Ebony isn't a Mary Sue, okay? She isn't perfect, she's a Satanist. I've heard of Satanist, not Satanists, or Satanists, people who get together and crochet pentagrams and sell them at church bake sales. How about Satanist? And she has problems. She's depressed for God's sake. Why is she depressed? She had 5 God reviews. Oh, wait, that's right. Good. Silly me. Okay, continuing. Draco and I held our pale white hands with black nail polish as we went upstairs. I was wearing red Satanist sings. Sings? You had little mini Satanist lyrics or people singing on your nails? It is a magic school. Oh, things. Author's note, C, does that sound like a Mary Sue to you? Once again, get rid of the author's note. I waved a vampire. Dark misery was in his depressed eyes. I guess he was jealous of me that I was going out with Draco. Anyway, I went upstairs excitedly with Draco. We went into his room and locked the door. Then, unnecessary ellipse, we started Frenching passively and we took off each other's clothes enthusiastically. Kudos for actually removing clothes this time and doing it enthusiastically. Hey, you're in the mood, that fits. However, Frenching passively, once again, how about maybe passionately? He felt me up before I took of my top. Oh, you were doing so well! Took off your top. Then I took off my black leather bra and he took off his pants. We went on the bed and started making out naked. Then he put his boy's thingy in mine and we had sex. See, is that stupid? Again, get rid of the author's note. I'm going to say that every time we come across one. And unnecessary capitalization of sex. Boy's thingy. Once again, we covered this. How about penis? And in yours, how about he just put his cock in me and we had sex? Oh, Draco, Draco, I screamed while gaining an orgasm when all of a sudden I saw a tattoo I had never seen before on Draco's arm. It was a black heart with an arrow through it. On it in bloody Gothic writing were the words, Vampire. I was so angry. You bastard, I shouted angrily, jumping out of the bed. No, but you don't understand, Draco pleaded, but I knew too much. No, you fucking idiot, I shouted. You probably have AIDS anyway. Okay, just going to say this once again, we're trying to reach a massive audience here. Might not want to just, go down the train of saying, hop on the train of saying that just because someone happens to have male-on-male intercourse that they're probably going to have AIDS. It's really offensive to that community. You should probably tone that shit down or remove it altogether. I put on my clothes all huffily and then stomped out. Draco ran out even though he was naked. He had a really big you-know-what. At this point, we're just going to assume he has a really big penis. But I was too mad to care. I stomped out and did so until I was in Vampire's classroom, where he was having a lesson with Professor Snape and some other people. Wait a minute. He was having a lesson? He was teaching it with Professor Snape? I thought Harry Potter was a student. Is he learning with Professor Snape? Is having a lesson like Snape's supposed to be teaching him? How about and it's Vampire's classroom? That makes it sound like it's his class. No. You broke in to Professor Snape's classroom where Harry Potter was being taught a lesson with Professor Snape and some other people. Vampire Potter, you motherfucker, I yelled. Again, unnecessary capitalization. Also, I'm just going to say this. If I see any more you-know-whats, I'm just not going to... I won't substitute penis. I, as your editor, will just start putting in whatever I think you-know-what, because it's so ambiguous. For instance, he had a really big hand. He had really big feet. He had a really big poster. He had a really big head of hair. He had a really big, ugly statue of Professor Snape doing it to himself with Professor Lupin. Oh, believe me, that'll come later. He had a really massive nose hair coming out that literally could be used as a lasso. I mean, just put the word in. Once again, this isn't for little kids. It's not that big of a deal. Just Penis Cock Johnson. Alright. Alright guys, this has been Mr. Casual Scum. We got through chapter 4 through 7 this time. Once again, trying our best to make this so that we don't die as a race when the aliens happen to see and verify that there is intelligence here on this planet, and not one shred of ludicrous idiocy that would be enough to spell our doom. So that's where we're going to pick up next time. We're going to start with chapter 8 and see if we can't get through a little bit more. This is going to be a long project. I'm in it for the long haul, though. I want to try to make this work. So, this is Mr. Casual Scum signing off. You guys take care of yourselves. I'll see you with the next episode. Take care of yourselves. This is Mr. Casual Scum signing off one last time. Guys, take care of yourselves. Later.